Hi, my name is JW, and I wanted to riff on a few ideas. Um, my friend Sami posted a blog post about his privacy practices, and I'll link it to you. And one of the things that you will know when you're reading this is that his practices are multifaceted, meaning that they are, maybe someone would call them complex, but at least they're complicated. Multiple steps, multiple things taken into account so that he spreads his data and privacy and private information all around, which gives him more security and privacy, basically. I would say that in general, what Sami is writing about, there's a slight reduction in usability, but there's a lot more mental overhead versus having everything in one place, in one browser, in one service provider, and so forth. For example, the multiple browsers is definitely something that causes mental overhead. I personally use 3 browsers. I have one for work-related stuff, one for so-called trusted browsing, which I limit the number of URLs I open at. And also then I have the third browser, which is my default browser, which has basically no JavaScript, no extensions, nothing enabled, clears history, clears cookies, doesn't accept cookies most of the time, and so forth. It does cause overhead, but I've learned to work with it. It actually helps me with the context. If I see this browser, I know that I'm in a work context. And this browser is my my free time browser. It also helps me to basically, if I close the free time browser, then I'm not distracted by anything because I can only focus on work stuff. There's this thing called security fatigue, and NIST from the US just published a small survey that they found that people are getting tired of all of these privacy and security guidelines and rules that are being told to them that you need to do this, this, this. And what happens is, what they found was that if you're presented with too many choices during the day, your brain grows tired, which then it falls back to avoiding choosing. And how it does that is it goes back to habits. And if those habits aren't good, then you make lousy choices, but it's not your fault. It's the system that makes you make those many choices. One thing for that: start small. Start small. Baby steps. Privacy and security is like getting vaccinated, except instead of a handful of combo shots you take in the Western world, there are hundreds of vaccinations you need to think about, and all of these combinations might not work. So it's up to you, and that brings with it fatigue. A common thought, easily, for example, if you read Sami's post, might be that, oh man, that's so many things. I can't handle 100% of that. I can't get to fully secure. I can't get to fully private, whatever. I won't do anything. You won't do anything because there's analysis paralysis, meaning there's so many choices of what you should do that you end up doing nothing. And it's sort of also this argument that because I can't get to 100%, I won't, there's no point in me trying even. Counter example for that, think about your parents and them vaccinating you as a small baby. Well, our baby can't get a tetanus shot because they're allergic. Dismiss all vaccinations, don't give them anything. No, I'm sure that your parents wouldn't do that. They would just leave out the tetanus shot and give you all of the other vaccinations. Every step helps. Every single step helps. It helps to limit the exposure and attack surface. Herd immunity. By herd immunity, what I mean is that your privacy and security does not only affect you and your data, but it also affects your contacts in your network of people. And vice versa. You might not be a target. That's also a common thought that, hey, I'm just Joe Regular. Why would anyone care about my information? Hell, they can call me and I'll tell them my information. I don't know why I did that accent. But you might not be a target. But your former classmate on Facebook might be. your former colleague from that small startup 15 years ago on LinkedIn, they might be now doing some high security government consulting or doing whatever sort of freaky stuff, and they might be the target, and they could get to him through you. So think about that. And also think about all of the people you have as contacts. Do you trust all of them to have perfect security? Probably not. I don't. But consider also this, that those people could get compromised to get to you, depending on who you are. I would say that all of this thing is similar to learning stick shift on a car. At first, you need to be mentally fully aware of every single press of the clutch. How does this stick work? Where are the gears 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth? All of those nuances. Then it becomes a habit. Then you don't even think about it. It becomes second nature to you. Take one thing now. Take one thing that improves your security or privacy posture. Use it until it's habit, instinctual. Then the next step. Every step helps. Thanks.